Harmonics, and welcome to the latest episode here in Innovation in Agriculture. And we're talking about innovation. And what is innovation? Innovation is trying new things. Innovation is improving your processes, improving the way we do things, right? It's not just some magical thing that just happens instantaneously. A lot of times, in fact, I've talked to so many farmers now. Almost every farmer I talk to, even farmers that are sort of old school and do things the old way. I've talked to farmers that they tried new inputs and new fertilizers. They're doing innovative things in that way. Most farmers that I talk to, you don't think of farming as the most innovative industry, but there's a lot of innovation happening. And I'm not talking just about drones or our crop booster or these types of things. I'm talking about just trying new fertilizers and trying to find new ways to do things. I mean, I was listening to somebody a few months ago talk to me about how they actually thin the grapes on a wine grape vine so that the vine has just enough grapes that they can support that fruit and have the really high quality so that the wine turns out to have really good quality as well. And they have it down to an exact science. They say, I need 23 bunches of grapes, and the grapes can't be more than like X number of size. And it's just fascinating how dialed in they have these things, right? And that's a technology, that's a skill, right? That's an applied skill. And then you talk about fertilizers and other inputs and equipment. I mean, look how much tractors have evolved in the last 20 or 30 years. Look how much inputs, for that matter, have evolved in 20 or 30 years. And that evolution happens because farmers are always looking for better ways to do things, right? They're looking for ways to improve yield, but they're looking for ways to improve quality. And now, in the last 5 to 10 years, there's been kind of a shift that's happened in the world, and the farmers are reacting to it. And that shift is, how do we continue to grow good food? How do we continue to maintain the existing food supply? But how do we do this in a way that's healthier, right? How do we do this in a way that nourishes people, right? We also want to do this in a way that's more environmentally friendly, not just because we have environmental activists out there shouting about how climate change and everything else is changing things, but because the farmers themselves know, climate change affects weather patterns. It affects the temperatures. It affects how many cloudy days you have. California has been in a bad drought for the last 5 years, and that's one of the bread baskets of the world. It grows more food probably than anywhere else, almost anywhere else in the world, right? At least in the United States for sure. So we're always looking for better ways to do things. How do we grow the same amount of yield but improve quality so that we have more nutrition? How do we grow the same amount of food but reduce the water usage by 30 to 50%? How do we improve our processes so we're not spending all of our money, hard-earned money, on fertilizers and inputs, right? So we're always engaged in innovation here. And we want innovative products that can help us do things better and more efficiently. And of course, the crop booster is one such innovation. It's a new technology that does not focus on improving nutrient availability in the soil so much as it improves on how does a plant actually use those resources. How does a plant really use the water that you're giving it, whether through rainfall or irrigation? How does the plant really improve the way we use nitrogen and phosphorus and potassium and other nutrients like calcium and manganese and boron and other things? How do we get the plant to utilize these resources that are needed, but do so efficiently so that they can maximize yield and reduce input costs and input usage? And there's been a ton of research that's been done on the farms, not just in the universities, but on the farms. In fact, in the last few days, I've talked to 4 or 5 farmers that told me, oh, yeah, we're always trying new things. We're always trying new processes, right? Now, one thing that a lot of farmers we've found haven't known about, and we just really found out about this not too long ago, is that here in the United States anyway, the IRS actually has a very special program which has been around since 1981. It's been around for a long time. But a lot of farmers aren't really aware of it, and very few farmers are really taking advantage of this. And a lot of the accountants we've even talked to that work on farms of let's say, small to medium-sized farms, the accountants don't even know that this tax credit exists. And that's very kind of puzzling to us because it's not a new thing. It's not something that just came out, 2022 or 2023. This has been around since 1981. And it's called the R&D tax credit. Now, if you're here in the United States and you don't know about this, or your accountant doesn't know about it more specifically, then you could be losing a lot of money, a lot of tax credits that you could normally get back. I mean, Imagine if you're spending, if your tax burden over your business is $50 or $100,000, and because of your standard deductions, you're deducting these programs, these new innovative technologies, but also your labor costs, your lab tests, and all this stuff. If you're just taking that as a standard deduction, you might be losing a lot of money that you could be getting back. And the R&D tax credit is all about that. So I don't want to go into the specifics of exactly how the program works because, frankly, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. But we are working and partnering with experts in the R&D tax area, which will allow you to, and they're the experts. They're the ones we want to have talk to you, because if you don't know about this or you want to learn more about this, we want you to talk to the experts, not just a guy who's, obviously I'm in the field of agriculture and I want to help everybody I can, but I also don't want to talk out of turn and say something that's not true. So if you're interested, please let us know and we will happily hook you up with one of our tax specialists who can guide you through step by step. They ask very detailed questions and guide you step by step through the process so you can maximize your tax earnings and your tax returns. I mean, if you have the choice between getting $15,000-$16,000 back on your taxes or $50,000 or $60,000 back on your taxes, I'm sure you'd want the latter, right? I'm sure you'd want more money. And that will help you just reinvest in more. So some of that, obviously, you can take a nice vacation or hang out with the family, but some of that you can reinvest in products like ours, like the crop booster, which will even further innovate and even further allow you to make more money on the farm. And that's just the program we have. We want, again, the whole purpose of our company has always been to help farmers and to help them make more money, help them create a better product, and help everybody eat healthier. That hasn't changed in the 8 years that we've been in business. It's not going to change in the next 800 years that we'll be in business from now on out. So if we can help you with the taxes, if we can help you with your yield, if we can help you with making your farm more efficient with our crop booster technology, then we definitely want to do that. So let's get together, let's work together so that you can become more efficient and more profitable and more innovative and futuristic while not really having to change that much about what you're doing and how you're farming. So give us a call at 727-324-6750 or email us at service@harvestharmonics.com. And let's work together so that you can become more profitable, you can become more efficient, you can become more innovative, and most importantly, you can become part of the future of farming today. Have a great day, guys. We'll talk again next.